Hey, and welcome to Inacore Gaming. Today we're going to be taking a first look at a new game that I just got. And before we start, there's a little story. This game was recommended to me by the Steam Intelligence. And I looked at it and I looked at the reviews, and one review made me say, okay, I'm going to try it. And that review basically said, if you played Eve and didn't like the PvP part, then this game is for you. And I said, well, that describes me perfectly because Eve was a game that I loved to play. But after playing for about a year and a half, in one 10-minute time period, another player wiped out like 6 months of my work. And he didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't hacking or botting. He did nothing wrong. He did exactly what was allowed to do by the design of the game. But it really just turned me off to the game, and so I quit playing. And I didn't play for years. And then I said, well, it's been, I don't know, it was like 5 years later. I said, it's been a long time. Maybe it's changed, you know. So I started playing again, and I had been playing for like 6 months. And a guy sent me a tell, and he said, hey, my corporation is fixing to take over this whole area, and we're going to kill all of the independent miners like you. And it's going to happen in 2 days, so you may want to gather up all your stuff and find a new place. And I thought, wow. That is, it's nice of the guy to do that, but my goodness, that's just, again, totally within the design of the game for them to be able to do that. But it just really left a bad taste in my mouth again. So I quit again, haven't played since. So in the 11 years, 12, 13, 14 years that Eve's been in existence, I played maybe 2 years worth, and both times have been run out of the game. And unfortunate, because I really did enjoy the part of Eve that I did do. I was a miner. I had 3 accounts. I had a huge mining barge. I was able to run 3 mining ships at the same time. Let's see. I guess it would have been two mining ships at the same time and 1 transport. So I was pumping out ore with the miners, picking it up with the transport ship. I was making a fortune. I was making a huge amount of money running 3 accounts at the same time. But basically I was told, find somewhere else, leave, and that just really didn't sit well with me. And so I quit again and haven't played since. Now, if this game truly is like Eve, but this is not an online game, you're in the world yourself, a lot like I'm not really sure. I haven't actually played this game, so I don't know. Elite Dangerous is a game that I enjoy quite a bit, and you can play it online with people, or you can play it by yourself, just you and the universe and nothing but NPCs. So I don't know if this game is like that, where you can actually play with just NPCs and you can also play online, or whether it's strictly an NPC type thing. First look. So here we go. We're going to be experiencing this together. So, new campaign. I assume that's where we're going to start. We can't continue sandbox. I don't really know what that means. Options, mod tools, credits, and exit. Let's look at our options before we get started. We are going to run in full screen. It doesn't actually give us any help with this thing. I do want to turn off the music. I'm not a music person. Don't play games with music. I don't have music running around in my own life when I'm doing things. So User interface. Scale the interface for the title screen and mod tools. I don't know yet. Maybe we'll change that. Quality is amazing. Okay. And is that all? General title options. That apparently is all. Okay. Mod tools. What are mod tools? Scripting editor, ship editor, station editor. Okay. So you can create mods, I guess? I don't really know. Sandbox. Station, warp gates. This looks like you can just put whatever you want, fix whatever, anything in the game that you want to fix. Missions, your ship. Mess with. I see this is basically like instead of creating a mod, you can just basically affect most everything in the game. Interesting. So here we go. New campaign. It was said mankind dreamed of traveling the stars from our first gaze into the heavens. It was inevitable that such dreams surface into reality. The unity required to realize such a dream brought with it a lasting peace. Our efforts gave birth to the greatest of all human achievements, the Imperium, born into Earth's orbit like a child from its mother. The Imperium became a symbol of hope to the people of our dying world, the promise of a future worth living, and with it, our redemption. We never found such salvation or redemption for that matter. The curse of our human nature would reveal itself again on that day. Not many are alive now who clearly remember that horrible event. What little we know, one thing is certain. We survived. It's a pretty bleak idea of the future. Kind of more of an optimist than that. Pilot name. Okay, let's see. It will be Njax 7. And the 7th clone of Njax. He's male. The hair doesn't move, but the face does. That's funny. That guy has a really high forehead. The hair doesn't move anywhere. One guy looked like he was about to cry. Kind of looked sick. None of them really stand out to me. That's not too bad. His ears stick out. That's not too bad. I know, you're going, what? Everybody has their different opinion, of course. Yeah, that's not terrible. What? That's funny. Looks like a dude from the 60s or something. See, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah, there you go. Those are crazy. I love the glasses. I hate that hair, though. I don't hate that. It's not that I hate the hair. It's not my style. I mean, I think maybe either that or that. I kind of like that. It's clean cut. Looks to me like he would be a spaceman. Let's confirm that. You start with a rating bonus for the faction that recovers your cryopod. This will provide a bonus to mission pay and market prices. Alpha, which is scientists, cyber technology, and physics, all belong to the faction known as Alpha. Using a uniquely sentient AI to calculate any possible outcome, they hope to govern all people with a system of perfect control. Tech subfaction focuses on applied science and research and development to facilitate colonization. Utilize cybernetic modifications to be enterprise in its program. The civil subfaction has representatives in areas of programming, entertainment, subspace communication, diplomacy, and other more clandestine activities. Members include a wide range of celebrities, agents, alpha-sanctioned program directors, and artists. Trade barons concern themselves with economics first, and everything else a distant second. Profit and enterprise are the driving force of civilization and the common bond that characterizes this faction. The financial subfaction regulates markets, establishes banking institutions, and sets interest rates. Members are an elite group of bankers and those with enough wealth to buy a seat at one of the meetings. Commerce is a loose conglomeration of entrepreneurs and big business chains moving personnel and goods around the system. Members count their worth in cargo space and units sold. No subfaction could be more diverse than the pirate syndicate, gangs of hardened frontiersmen, banding together to live by their own rules, taking whatever they can and smuggling bliss funds and smuggling bliss funds their appetite for more advanced ships. Outlaw. There's nothing so human as independence, and the outlaws are defined as a group by their unwillingness to be a part of a group. Living on the fringes of other communities, they survive on their own merit for most everything and borrow the rest. Sovereign are isolationists and independents who simply want to survive without interference. Living with bare essentials in the most remote areas, they thrive through ingenuity and salvaging. Due to their nomadic existence, most are considered derelicts at worst and space gypsies at best. The Temple of the Void subscribes to a spiritual destiny to the event horizon of the center of the Astrox universe, believing the void beyond the stars to be a great divine barrier that must be surpassed for humanity's ascension into the heavens. The missionary subfaction consists of spiritual advisors servicing the people of Astrox. Members are more concerned with easing the suffering of the inhabitants and providing care for recovering bliss addicts than unraveling the secrets of the void. The Orthodox. The Temple Orthodox and its clergy devote themselves with study and prayer centered on worshiping the void. They believe that by embracing the nothing, they will free themselves from the Astrox universe and attain enlightenment. The labor faction is one of the largest, made up of artisans and trade workers, both skilled and unskilled. They provide the necessary material for development and expansion. Mining, production, and service all fall under the labor faction. Contractors Union is responsible for the planning, implementation, and building of all new projects or constructions. From the lowly cook to the esteemed warp engineer, manufacturing and production would not exist without careful planning from the Contractors Union. Extractors mine the various asteroids and refine the derivative ores to produce goods and materials used for construction. Members work long shifts in dangerous conditions and often live their entire lifetime on a remote dig site. The law regulates all other factions through the universal laws drafted by the first settlers, responsible for modifying and enforcing the laws. It is made up of people who like structure and a clear chain of command. Private security contractors commissioned by law agencies also fall into this faction. Enforcement. As the name implies, this militarized faction maintains cutting-edge combat-ready ships to provide security and police the Atrox universe. Often criticized for the aggressiveness of its pilots, it is still the first to respond when an outpost is overrun with pirates. The judicial subfaction is the foundation of the law faction itself, ratifying all laws to oversee everything from building and trade contracts, sovereign relocation programs, and public domain disputes. The judicial body is notably complicated, and oftentimes resolutions to cases occur long after all participants have died. Well, that doesn't sound very efficient. I have no idea which one we should take, so I think that I'm going to try to be a miner. So that was extractors. Extractors mine. Let's do extractors. Each profession will provide the pilot with a few pre-trained skills that will assist them during their early development. Prospectors make the best of any find with a rich ore or derelict ship. Prospectors give a minor bonus to both mining and salvaging yields. 1x escort ship, 3x miner basic, 1x miner advanced systems. Mining is both difficult and lucrative, and miners know just how far they can push their equipment. Miners get an additional bonus to mining yields. 4x miner basic, 2x miner advanced, 1x laser basics, 1x miner focal range, miner harvest calibration, salvager, trader, transporter, distributors, refiners, manufacturers, engineers, sentinel, enforcer, and hunter. Okay, well, for this first playthrough, we were going to be miners, so we're going to be a miner. A new welcome center. Hey there, we're glad to see you're finally up and about. You've been sleeping for quite some time. Might I suggest you take things easy until you feel comfortable with some instruction. This is the welcome center. It was created for new refugees like you, though it hasn't been used in some time. Feel free to wander about. There are a few exhibits that you may find informative, though it hasn't been used in some time. Where am I? I told you this is the Welcome Center. It is a special processing center where new refugees like yourself are acclimated to our little universe we call Astrox. I know you must be quite confused. Take a moment to walk around the center. The exhibits will explain where you are, how you got there, and what the rules are. Okay? Alright, I'll be here if you need me. Come back and see me again once you better understand your situation. Okay. So, apparently... I'm sure... the Age of Enlightenment? I'm not sure how I interact with things. Welcome to the Historical Information Kiosk. I'm excited to tell you all about how we ended up in the Astrox universe. Would you like to know more? Please. Who said men dream of traveling stars from the Martian moment he looked up in the sky and marveled at its majesty? We're not where we read this. That is, until man created an artificial intelligence, launching the first sentient program feeding it all knowledge currently known. This new AI ruled without prejudice and governed with fairness and integrity. In time, the AI became like a god. After solving of many of humanity's major problems, most everyone trusted what the AI presented as truth. The AI quickly determined that humanity was doomed by forces beyond our control. We had no choice but to escape the wreckage that had become our planet. Mankind joined together in the one hope of salvation, the most advanced spacecraft that they could conceive. A lottery was held. People from all professions and countries were selected to create. The AI was uploaded to the ship's computer, and with a few short years of completion, the ship was launched. The program had selected a binary system a few thousand light years away. The passenger crew were put into cryostasis pods. After reaching a safe distance from the home planet, the ship initiated the first ever test of a wormhole drive. This new technology was created solely by the AI, and most humans could not fully understand how it worked. By following the detailed instructions of the AI, humans were able to construct this new warp drive using the engineering documents provided. No one remembers quite what went wrong, but it was believed that the alarms awoke those from cryosleep and initiated evacuation procedures. The worm drive must have malfunctioned and somehow created a singularity that warped both time and space. We're not exactly sure of the details, but obviously some of us managed to survive and work together long enough to create a home base. Void Starcross is the sector you are currently in. As the crew ejected, the last remnant ship could be seen stretching into the growing event horizon of a supermassive black hole. Stars, planets, and asteroids were all pulled into a newly created universe, and the people of the Imperium were left stranded to rebuild. The ejection pods landed in all different directions, and the first survivors scratched out what could barely be called an existence. In time, the different groups formed into factions, each carrying the knowledge of their purpose on the crew. Okay. Interesting. The various factions. Alpha, Civil, Science. Didn't we look at all this? We looked at all this. Trade, financial. We looked at all this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we saw this. Alright. What is this? We've already done the history, yes? Yes. Wasn't that the same information? And this doesn't appear to give us anything. What about this? No. This? No. Alright. I think this, I didn't mention it, but I believe this may be an early access game, so, it's, it may not be completely fleshed out yet. There may be more parts of it coming later on. Well, I'm sure you now understand what this place is for. Every once in a while, a new G will lose their mind, and everyone who loses requires a bit of time to adjust. We can't hand you the keys to a proton-powered starship with a fully charged energy core without knowing you're going to be okay out there behind the stick. Yeah, I can see that. What's next? All right, let's head over to the station so we can pick up your brand new ship. I guess new is a relative term, though, considering it was manufactured 80 years ago. My old friend Jessa Dent is waiting for you at the Biomate University. She will help you get familiar with your ship and all the various station services. Okay, let's get going. Wow, it really is such an honor to meet you. I was really hoping I would be selected as your instructor. I know this is all confusing, but I can assure you it will all make sense soon enough. I suspect you are ready to get started with your training. There is a lot to learn, and we don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Just take your time and work at your own pace. Okay, so that looks like that's enough to get started. Looks like I have 55,000 whatever, and there's a lot of different things here. There's a lounge, a market, a refinery, a garage, university, storage, a shipyard, a fabricator. There's missions, there's offices, and they can undock. Okay, well, looks like that's my ship. Oh, there's my first ship, I bet. Uh-huh. Aha. Oh. Hee. Cool. It's a pretty big gun up there on top. And what is that down there? Missiles or something? Who knows? Engine. Looks like the space dock here. Okay, well, we're going to stop it here. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me here at Inacore Gaming. I sure do appreciate your patronage. Please consider, if you liked the content, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Click on the like button. Give me a comment if you like this. If you want to see more of this, let me know. Consider subscribing to the channel. More content will come up. If you subscribe and click the notification bell, you'll get notified whenever I post videos, which I do fairly regularly. As always, I encourage you to find a place of worship, a place where you feel safe and comfortable and welcome. Attend it regularly with an open heart and an open mind, and I think that you will find that to be a rewarding and fulfilling experience. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, see you.